Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are watching slash listening. Thank you for making us part of your day. I am Justin.
I'm Alexander.
We're the hockey podcast you're about to hear. And Alexander, do you think chemists tell jokes? Because I
That
think
wasn't
they would periodically.
you dropped out, bro.
Ah, do you think chemists tell jokes?
Do I think chemists tell jokes?
Uh huh.
Mm.
Because
I
I
don't know
think
any chemists.
again.
I don't know any chemists,
Oh well,
so
that's fair.
I
I
couldn't.
mean, I don't. I think I know one, but yeah, I think they would periodically.
Ah, ah, ah.
Yeah, wasn't sure if that would get much reaction.
It didn't.
uh, got the reaction I was going for, so that's all that matters. So, on that note, where should we start?
Well, we should probably start with where we currently are, which is the end of January. Yes, it has been a long
Phew, man.
break, but life is busy, and there's only so much time for so much stuff. And it figures the year that I don't have time to watch a ton of hockey. The team that I enjoy is playing some really good hockey, which we'll get to.
Right?
We'll
Yeah.
get
Oh,
to.
yeah. For sure.
Uh,
Hmm.
Last season, we introduced the milk bag and cookies. As we go through the divisional reviews, we pick out a team that's a milk bag, which is not a good thing, and then somebody that's cookies, which is a
Yay,
very good thing.
cookies. Cookies are the
So
best. Yum.
that's that's where we
Unless it has
stand.
raisins, and then it's like, why even bother?
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
All right. So, which division do you want to start in there?
I feel like it's tradition. You just start in the Atlantic because
Yeah.
all good things come from the Atlantic.
Depends on the year. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. So, who do we want to hand out some cookies to?
Because we've never been able to do this before, gonna hand out cookies to my Detroit Red Wings,
Woo woo woo
who,
woo.
despite um, everybody's expectation that they would be a playoff bubble team for the fourth year in a row,
Mm-hmm.
are currently points wise leading the division and tied for the lead in the conference
Mm-hmm.
and basically third in the NHL.
That's pretty
Um,
big. Yeah.
of which this means one of two things. We are getting playoff games this year, gang,
Woohoo.
and that is well deserving of cookies.
Oh yeah.
Or next time we talk, they are going to be the biggest milk bag ever because they fell all the way out of the playoffs because the East is so tight that they
Yeah.
still
Sure
very well
is.
could.
Yeah. Sure
And
is.
I think it's kind of six and one half dozen of another. So which way this thing goes, because all it takes is a couple more injuries or
Mm-hmm.
your goaltender to cool off, and you're right back to losing 2 out of 3 games every week.
Oh yeah. I think one point earlier in the season, I remember hearing that I can't remember if it was top to bottom or the wild card spot to bottom. Either way, it was like 4 points separating, which I'm like, that is absurd. That's that tight. Like
Yeah,
that is insane. So yeah, no, I'm definitely
right
with you.
now the Bruins are the last team in at 62 points, whereas the Red Wings and Hurricanes are leading their divisions at 69 points. So we're 7 points apart, top to
Yeah.
bottom, in just the playoff bracket.
I mean, yeah, it's a little tight, but at the same time, I'd rather be in that top spot than that bottom spot. Wow, the Panthers are currently out. Man, that's something crazy. Huh.
It
Bunch of
is true.
injuries.
You got to fall past a lot of teams
Uh huh.
in order to fall all the way out.
Yeah.
However, I have seen this team in February and March's past, and I'm not ready to let my heart go there.
Yep, I hear you on that.
Um,
Yeah,
but
no.
if that is our cookies, of which I do have to say this, the Red Wings are a +8 differential right now, whereas the teams around them are 47,
Phew.
17, 30, 17, 12. They're not the best plus minus that you would be looking for
Right.
on this typical scenario, the way things usually shake out.
Hmm.
So they either need to start scoring more points in the games they win and stop winning so many close games, or um, just win, baby.
Yeah, right. That's all that matters. I mean, I'd rather be +8 than there's a team that we'll get to here in a little bit that has a -8 in the playoff spot and a -18 in the playoff spot. So at least you're in the positives right now. So that's all that
These things
matters.
tend these things tend to even out though,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
something's going to even out here, and I'd rather be in that +17, +20 spot
Oh yeah, for
because I don't
sure.
think you're not going to see a team with a plus double digit miss the playoffs.
Yeah, it would take a whole lot for that to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, usually the teams that are like positive that miss, it's just like low single digits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Oh,
that's down the road in April when we get to that point.
all right. But no, yeah, give
Um,
them some cookies while you can and bask in glory for the moment. So who do you think deserves the milk bag? I have one, maybe two candidates in mind. What about you?
so I think your two candidates you're thinking of is probably the Panthers and the Maple Leafs.
That would be right on.
And the Panthers started the season losing their captain and their top line center
Mm-hmm.
for the season. So, and Kachuk out for until probably the Olympic after the Olympic break. That was kind of expected. So if you
Yeah.
lose two of your top three or four players in a competitive world
Yeah, very competitive. Mm-hmm.
and on a team that has been to back Stanley Cup finals,
Oh yeah.
prob- probably is hitting a point where boy, it's just got to be hard to keep getting through that grind. All the
Yeah.
extra wear and tear, basically the full extra season that they have played as opposed to the teams around them over the last 3 years, it does catch up to you. That's why it's so hard to do repeat, repeat champions
Oh yeah.
in the
Yeah.
NHL.
I thought it
It's
was
just
catch
too
up to him last year,
brutal.
but they haven't pulling through. Yeah, no, Matthew Chuck, I think, came back very recently, but yes, him being out definitely did not help matters at all. So I think giving them a little milk bag because they have a lot of injuries to overcome. But Toronto, however, what is happening there?
Toronto, Toronto, I think is fully deserving of this. Now, I will grant you that any team that loses their second best player,
Mm-hmm.
debatable whether or not he was their first, but definitely certainly their top two, depending on how you want to look at some nights, maybe top three, depending where you feel about
Mm-hmm.
Nylander.
Right.
Um, that your team is not going to be the same the following year. You just can't replace those points and those minutes.
Yeah.
You can't just subtract a 100-point player and say, well, we'll just add two guys that get 50 and call it good.
Math,
Doesn't
right?
really work that way. This isn't
Yeah.
this isn't Moneyball. And so, but I did not think that their fall from grace would be quite this hard and they would
Same.
look this bad.
Same.
That
Yeah.
that said, they're still 5 points out of a playoff spot, and there's a number of teams they would have to jump to get there, which is the hard part. It's not like
Mm,
you're 5 points out in the first team out. It's you're 5 points out and you're the third team out,
yeah.
and there's other teams right around you that are all thinking the same thing.
Uh-huh.
So the road back is hard, and they're not playing particularly well. They went a little they went a little run after they fired an assistant coach,
Right.
but now they're just back to just kind of bad hockey.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yep. 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 Uh,
so, but if you look at all the rosters that are hanging out there, and you say, okay, which team is going to pull themselves out of this? I would say the Leafs in that division, maybe second best chance of pulling out of it because I think the Panthers would be a better team to pull themselves out of it.
right. Yeah, they're only 3 points out with the game in hand, so I mean, if they can get some
So,
healthy players back, then maybe possibly push. But yeah, it'd be an uphill battle for sure.
yeah, we'll kind of see how that works itself out in the end. But if the Maple Leafs were to miss the playoffs, it would be less embarrassing than losing the first round. Right?
That's interesting. Would you rather miss the playoffs entirely or get bounced in the first round?
I heard what the strat is. What they want to do is they want to finish as a wild card that has to play the Metro, so they
Uh,
don't have to go through Tampa and Boston and Florida. Like we want an easier path, so we got to
yeah,
take this last wild card spots. Is the gamesmanship there? But
easier quote quote. But we'll see.
yeah, yep.
They've got the matchups they
Um,
wanted before, and I don't think it went well for them then. So
no. So with that, I'd say, Justin, if you take us to the metro and give us a milk bag or cookie.
Alrighty, so the Metro. I mean, I think the easy one would be the Hurricanes, but I think pains me to say it, but the Penguins being in second right now in their division somehow, some way is absurd. And maybe the Islanders? I don't know. Who should we give it to? Because the Hurricanes we expect to be good, but not really the Penguins or the Islanders. I don't think so.
For a team that sold at the deadline last year,
Mhm.
you were not anticipating them being a team that was going to be in a divisional fight, much less above the wild card position. And so the fact that they're here and playing well and found a way to trade away Tristan Jarry and get Stu Skinner and win the deal, I guess,
Yeah, that's a head scratcher.
was interesting to me.
Yeah.
Um, and I also don't know how much a part of this is because we're in an Olympic year. There are guys that are playing
Mm-hmm.
differently, particularly the veterans that are wanting to make Olympic teams in this the year
Oh
of the
yeah, yeah,
Olympics.
yeah.
Um, so not sure. Or was it a coaching change? Did did getting rid of Sylvan make a huge difference?
Right. Just new voice
Right.
in the room.
Yep. Um, Not sure. How much credit do we give to Kyle Dubas? I'm going to say none, but um, that's that's where I can't stand it. But in the end, you can only play the games you can play and win the
hmm
games that you're in front of you, and they've done like the fourth best job in the conference at doing that. So
Yeah, which is
okay,
insane.
that's fine. You are what your results say you are, right?
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
that that's where they're at.
yeah, absurd. So, yeah, cookies, I guess, to Pittsburgh Penguins. No.
Hmm.
Who would you say deserves the milk bag?
There can be only one.
Uh-huh. The Rangers.
I I don't know what's happened there.
Uh,
That for a team that used to be good to be this
yeah,
bad is
President's Trophy
gotta
winner
be
last season too.
gotta be intentional? Question mark.
Hellebuck went down for a little bit, but you think they would be able to at least be in a wild card spot, you know? Yeah, that's yeah, it's definitely a head scratcher. Um, a lot of people think that maybe they overachieved last year, and this is regression to the mean, so to speak. But it's still, I would not have guessed this.
I don't feel like this is a regression to the mean. This is regression to create the mean.
Right? Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so like they got to fall all the way to the other side of the sine wave in order to create a neutral current. So
yeah.
this is
Or not
this is
Hellebuck, Shesterkin. Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
think
There we go.
anybody that was listening either knew what you meant or didn't really care.
Like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, but still, I think they were doing poorly before he went down. Like, didn't they? Oh, I want to say they went an absurd amount of like opening home losses, like almost double digits, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was. Let's see. Oh, it's
Now, what is interesting to me is the Rangers do have a lot of skill on their team, a lot of
mm-hmm.
talented players that they may be looking to shop at the deadline because at this point, you might as well tank for the number one pick or at
Right.
least the best lottery odds and retool quickly like they did with all the other guys they got. So if that's the case, if somebody said, "Do you want Vincent Trocheck or Artemi Panarin in Detroit?" I would be interested
You're right.
based on price. I think Panarin paired up with, I don't know, Patrick Kane.
That could be
Um,
juicy. Yeah.
that could be exciting. You get Vincent Trocheck to anchor your third line as a playoff third line centerman. That could be pretty good. I
Yeah.
think there's
Yeah.
some potential there. The nice thing is that Detroit has the cap space to take on a lot of people. They have the second most
Hey,
cap
there
space
you
at
go.
the deadline this year,
There
and
you
they
go.
have a bunch of picks and a bunch of prospects. So there is this is the first year since Oh gosh, since I've been married, like we got to go back to I think 2012, 2013 before we can say the Wings would have been active at the deadline
Right.
as a buyer, as
Yeah.
a serious
Yeah.
buyer.
Yeah. Uh,
So this is a strange feeling because it hasn't been here in
right.
a long time.
Yeah. No, it was until November 10th when they got their first home win,
Hmm.
and then I want to say they were shut out for an absurd amount of time at home. So I was like, "You want to win? Go visit the Rangers." Wait, what? The Rangers, right? Yeah. The Rangers. Oh,
Okay.
okay. I guess so. Yeah, the wheels have fallen off, and who knows where they're landing.
And to be sitting there at a minus 23 is
Yeah.
just not good. I mean, certainly there's nobody else in the league, no one other team in the league, no one other team in the league that is worse than double that. So um, I think that's a true statement. But anyway,
Yeah.
there's the Rangers for you.
All right. Anything else on the Metro, or shall I bounce to the West?
The Metro's fine by me.
Yep.
I don't really care what else happens there. Carolina's the class of that field. That's fine. That makes sense.
Right. All right. Very good. So, should we do the Pacific or the Central?
Let's go Central. It's the next one on my web page.
All right. Makes that easy. Let me flip this back to the day. So the Central. Who should we give some cookies? Well, I
There,
mean, it's kind of an obvious choice, I think, but
yeah. Um, I would
call.
give the full bag of cookies goes to the Avalanche for
Uh-huh.
being hands down the class of the NHL this year,
Yeah.
which honestly isn't terribly surprising. I think what's
Right.
surprising is there is other teams playing well enough to kind of be in that upper echelon. It's like there's Colorado, there's a decent gap
Yeah.
to the next best, which is like points wise, the Red Wings and the Hurricanes.
hmm Yeah, I want to say it was
Um,
until like in December, early January, where they had two losses back to back at regulation
mhm.
or something like that. Just absurd stats this year for them. Be curious to see if they can, keep pushing it through, especially after the Olympic break and everything. But yeah, it's unreal what they're doing right now. Plus 76.
I'd say
Eesh.
that's the kind of stat that breaks the minus stats for the rest of your conference because it just means that you were just pummeling other teams
Yeah.
nightly. So okay, so Avalanche, absolutely fantastic. They got their groove
hmm
on. I think a smaller bag of cookies needs to go to Minnesota
Yep.
for making the Quinn Hughes trade
All right.
and
That was this year. Yeah.
and and being, if Colorado,
Oh, hold on, you cut out.
this team is doing really well.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's surprising
Right.
for me
Yeah.
that they're doing that well.
Uh huh.
Um,
Yeah. If they were in the Pacific, they've had the number one spot.
mhm,
So yeah, no, I'm going to give them a little bit of
and
cookies.
handily.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is weird, but here we are.
Yep. So Central is very top heavy.
Uh huh.
Um,
Uh huh.
so if
Uh,
the top is heavy, what's hanging off the back end of the truck?
well, it's a tie. I think the biggest tie would have to be the Jets. A little tie to the Blues, but the Jets have to be the giant milk bag in my.
The Blues overachieved last year with Bennington after the
Uh huh.
formations face-off
That's right.
break,
Yeah.
and so that was an inflated playoff push that they made last year. They were not a playoff team last year.
No, which was annoying because
Calgary,
they.
Calgary should have been in.
Yeah, I was about to say that. If they got one less point, Calgary would have made it. Or Calgary got one more point, they would have made it. But although they did. Did they do an upset last year, or did they almost do an upset last year? I think they almost did an upset. Yeah, they pushed Winnipeg to Game 7 surprisingly somehow. So that
Yeah,
was
that was a game
unreal.
that Winnipeg had to score with like point
Yeah.
2 seconds left or something to push it to overtime, game 7, and then that was that was a game that, like, at some point you just got to go back and watch and just be like, oh, this was quite the game.
Oh yeah.
But that's last year. This is this year.
Uh-huh.
The fact that the Jets are down at the bottom here, tied with the Blues, is more an
Yeah.
indictment against the Jets. So
Yeah.
they absolutely deserve the milk bag.
Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier.
The
So,
partial milk bag, I think, goes to the Blues for being minus 52.
oh,
Minus
ouch.
52. I mean,
That.
that's North Dakota weather right there.
Yeah, that's unreal, man. But yeah, yeah, a little bit of
I
a
mean,
milk
that's
bag for
pulling
them.
your goalie with 5 minutes left. Like that's just
What's one more goal? That won't matter. Yeah, whatever. Just one more goal in.
yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, yeah.
Like
We're in
if
the
we're
red.
down 3, we're still gonna pull him.
Plus minus.
Yeah,
What's
you
that
are getting
stat? We don't care.
worked over.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, they might be. Well, they're not. They've given up like the second most goals in the league. Oh, not even that.
Oh, really?
So they're just not scoring.
Interesting.
They are not scoring at all. They have nothing that's scoring. They had 127 goals scored this year,
Uh-huh.
and I'm trying to find anybody else in the 120s, and I can't find anyone.
Sheesh.
I got the Devils at a 138,
Oh, yeah,
and
they are.
then
Yeah, the Blues are dead last, followed closely by the Flames at 132.
mm,
Woo. But we're not
but
on the Flames
yeah,
yet, so
that's just not enough goals. So
yeah,
anyway, maybe a little double milk bag action in
yeah,
this particular
yeah. Especially the
conference, but
Jets being the President's Trophy's winner last year and extreme danger of missing the playoffs this year, which is insane. I didn't think I'd ever say those words, but here we are.
hmm
So yeah, big milk
yep.
bag for them. Hellbuck missed some of the season, but that's what's saying earlier about the Rangers is Hellbuck missed some of the season, but they should have had a good enough team around them to at least be in a wild card spot until they came back and I think keep the seat warm. But that's a big nope. So
Like if you lost Hellebuck for the year
yeah,
or Shifley for the year,
yeah,
I can see you would see a substantial drop off. But still, most of those guys are, you know, how many points above replacement as far as
mm-hmm.
analytically goes,
Mm-hmm.
and so they shouldn't be this bad.
Yep, agreed.
But here, here they are. Like we say, you are like we said with Pittsburgh. You are what your results say you are.
Uh-huh. Pretty much. All right, anything else about Central, or should we bounce it to the Pacific?
Let us go play in the waters of the Pacific.
All right. So, we should get some cookies in the Pacific. We're going with our
I
regular
think
of the surprise team.
I I, th- I think so. I mean,
Ugh.
is it Ducks question mark? Is it the
Yep.
Sharks question? I think kind of surprising to see both of them there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would agree with that. I think I'd rather give it to the
At
Sharks than the
minus, minus
Cookies,
18.
or than the Ducks.
I,
No
I
bias
I
here.
think it goes to Macklin.
Oh yeah, he is doing some insane things right
The,
now.
the whole bag of cookies goes to
Oh yeah.
Macklin Celebrini. Because this is like when McDavid was coming up, and he was just far and away the best player on his team, and far and away the reason that their team won
Yep.
any nights that they won.
Yep.
That's what he's doing right now. And so it's
Yep.
like, get this kid some help,
Yeah, for real.
people.
I think they did make a couple trades here and there, but yeah, curious to see what they'll do at the trade deadline. But yeah, no, I'm definitely fine to
hmm
give it to San Jose. I could not bring myself to give it to Anaheim. But no biases here, of course.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we should give a little bit of cookies to Anaheim, as much as it pains me, because I did not expect them to be here either. I thought they were going to be just outside the wild card, sniffing it, or maybe in the bottom. But they had an amazing start, and this is what happens when you have an amazing start. Haven't been doing so well lately, but actually, never mind. They're 7-3 in the last 10. They went on a huge losing streak. But yeah, when you make wins early in the season, it's not that bad.
hmm,
All right,
okay.
so who should get the milk bag or two?
I think it's just fun to dump on the Canucks.
Same.
I'm just here for that.
I don't know why.
How
It
far
just is.
they are at the bottom of the league. Um, at this point, like they're also minus 52, but the Blues have actually
Yeah.
won some games,
Yeah.
and so they're what 8 points behind the Blues.
Eesh. Yeah.
That's just that's so far gone at this point.
I know.
I think yeah, obviously when you trade away Quinn Hughes,
Uh-huh.
you're you're probably not making the playoffs, right? You're not
Right.
gonna you can't get full value for him in season. You're only
Right.
getting potential future.
Hmm.
And I have to imagine a locker room that has Quinn Hughes that suddenly doesn't have Quinn Hughes goes from we can find a way to get through this and find a way to find our way this season and get back to what are we even doing here, boys? Why are
Yeah.
we even showing up?
Yeah. They did go on a little bump, oddly enough, after he got traded, but then that has quickly cooled off. So, yeah. Big mess. Big mess. Yeah. That's just. Yeah. Not much
Which
else to say.
I'm assuming was getting what you can get, where you can get it, when you can get it, knowing that he wasn't going to stick around. He's going to end up in
Hmm.
New Jersey here at some point.
Yep. Yep. I mean, that's kind of what the Flames did. They traded off Rasmus Anderson because this is the last year of his contract, and their Flames are nowhere near a playoff spot. And he had made it clear that he wasn't coming back, so traded him in Vegas. Better than nothing. So here we
Hmm.
are. Hopefully, a top five pick, top, an overall number one pick would be awesome. But I don't think that's happening. So Bettman won't let it come to Canada.
Hmm.
Alrighty.
Well,
So anything else in on
that
the
is
Pacific?
no, that's the league, I think.
I think so.
And um, yeah, so then if that's the league right now, what's next?
Oh, we have a break coming up in what, like a week, week and a half ish, I think, for just a little thing, the Olympics. Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Oops. So yeah, last game I think it'll be the fifth, and then starting the sixth there'll be break until almost the end of February I think. So and conditions are great for the Olympic ice and hockey rink and everything, but I'm sure it'll be fine, right?
Um,
Totally fine. Fine. It was fine.
yeah, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Um, nothing's on fire.
No, it can't be on fire when it's ice, right? Yeah.
Hmm. Um, my my thought on the up and coming Olympics
Hmm.
is they are in Italy, which is a time zone that doesn't work great for the American audience
Uh-huh.
because the games are going to be played in the morning or early afternoon,
Oh, right. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that that means that um, you're either watching taped things, hoping you don't find out the results, or you're just straight up missing them.
Right. Yeah.
And in my mind, I would say most people are not going to be watching these games live as they happen, which is what was so fun about the Four Nations face-off is it
Yes.
was all prime
Yes.
time NHL players in their market going for it. So I get where the players wanted to go, but this is I feel like the
Oh, you're cutting out. I feel like the players want to go, but this is where. Oh, maybe lose you. I might have lost him.
is
Oh,
is that it's
you're
going
back.
to fall a little flat.
Yeah, would follow that. Yeah, I would think so. I thought the. I mean, we talked about last year. I thought the Four Nations was gonna fall flat, and that thing delivered and then some. So we'll see. And I'm assuming the NHL is gonna be NHL and not have a great way to view the games, even though technically it's Olympics. But I think that'd be another thing too. Is I'm assuming be over there on like NBC or whatever. But I don't know. If I can't stream it with my subscription, then I don't know what I'll do to watch it. And like you said, it'll be during the day, so I'll be at work, and yeah, I won't have many options anyway. So I'll probably keep up on the scores and see. I don't think anybody on the Flames is going, so I really don't care about that. So yeah, I'll be
Hmm.
yeah. Long break without hockey, long break without having to set my lineup. you know.
Yeah, I'm still probably going to because I'm a couple hours ahead of you, so I'll
Right.
be able to catch some of the games in a okay time span.
Yeah. Right.
But I really don't think that I'm going to get to see as much Olympic hockey as I was hoping to.
Yeah.
Mm. I also the it it's weird, right? Like you get to international hockey and you're dealing with kind of a whole different animal, if you
Right.
will, as far as oh, so these are the leagues going this way, or the groups go this way, and then you get intergroup play, and then you go to this,
Uh,
and so the whole thing is just really kind of hard to follow, if
yeah,
you
it's
will.
a bit convoluted. Yeah,
So,
that
like,
is for
if you
sure.
want to be like, "Hey, I wanna watch this," I wanna, watch this game, see when this team gets here, yada, yada, yada. Like, well, you don't know until, like, the day before if they've been
Yeah.
eliminated or if they're still in it, and then what time are they gonna be playing. So it's, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not terribly optimistic.
Yep, not me either. I'd say I hope it'd be a free streaming service, but highly, highly doubt that. So we shall
Mhm.
see.
No, I think it's gonna be on Peacock. You gotta spend your 19.99 or whatever,
Yeah.
14.99 for 1 month.
Yep. Don't care for that. So not that interested to watch the Olympics. As stated, where won't be a good time for you to watch them anyway. So oh, yeah,
Yep.
keep an ear to it, see who does what, and watch some highlights, and just go about that route and wait patiently for the Flames to start playing again.
Okay.
Yay.
Mhm.
um,
Yep.
so,
Okay.
well, yeah, but I mean, good break for everybody who's not going. A little bit of rest. Always interested to
Mhm.
see how teams do after our break. Sometimes they do great, and if you're your team, on a roll, no, I don't want to stop playing hockey. Oh well, what can you do?
Mhm.
Anything else on Olympics, the league as a whole, divisions, or is that pretty good for this evening?
I think that's pretty much everything we need for tonight. I think I feel fairly caught up.
Sounds good. Same here. Same here. So, without further ado, I'm Justin.
I'm Alexander.
We're the hockey podcast you're about to hear, which you just did. So thanks for listening, and we'll talk at you later.
Bye.